All right, so I want to change the world. Sounds weird, but it's really what I want. And I work in technology and media. You might have heard of people that I've worked with. I'm going to talk to you about the future of video and give you a brief history of that future. This is the only thing I think about, and it's really what I'm obsessed with. So first of all, 3 caveats. I completely agree with these 3 things, so you don't have to call me out in the audience and make me feel dumb, because I'll do that by myself. But we'll talk about exactly like how video works and where it's going. It's all based on my personal experience. So there's 2 sides to video. The first side is the creation side. It's the cameras, it's the computers, it's the editors. The second side is the consumption side. It's how people actually consume that visual media. To get started, it all started back in the early 90s with QuickTime. QuickTime was a thing invented by Apple, like so many things that we use are. And it allowed people to transfer digital video from computer to computer using CD-ROMs. In the later part of the decade, Windows Media and Reel started to fill that role for the internet. However, they're pretty horrible, and towards the early part of the 2000s, Adobe added video support to Flash. This meant that any video or any website owner could add video to their service. On the other side, on the right side, that's a logo for FFmpeg. That's a backend that allows video to be transcoded from one format to the other. YouTube took total advantage of this, and people are able to distribute their video to anyone, including Austin right there. And we've seen that distribution is a problem that's essentially solved by these random people being able to create whatever they want. We've had, on the creation side, prices have come down, and anyone's able to create video. Towards in the 90s again, we had digital video created on tapes. Files were just transferred to tapes. Then this decade, we had the Red camera, which is a $10,000 camera or thereabouts that can let you do cinema quality video. That means just like the movies for only about $10,000. It's a huge improvement. Most recently, however, we've had the innovation of DSLR cameras. DSLR cameras, normally known for shooting photography, they can now take video, and that quality is super high. That means anyone who has access to about $700 can create TV quality video, and they don't have to have that TV quality budget. The future of creation is pretty simple. DSLRs have inspired a new generation of camcorders, and the price is going to continue to come down, so that if you're the slightest bit interested in video, you can rent a camera and shoot a TV quality video without having to ask anyone. There's 2 pieces that have been solved: distribution and production. However, consumption hasn't evolved at all. We've seen, people have been watching TV pretty much the same way since the 50s. So consumption is what I think needs to change. Video on the web is a little bit weird. People go to the web for information typically. You'll go to Wikipedia, you go to Google Maps, you get information. However, web video in the past has been all about entertainment. We've seen the kitten videos, we've seen Will It Blend, we've seen all these different, all this content that's specifically around entertainment. Those two ideas, I think, need to merge, and so that we can have entertaining video content that's also informational, because it fits the web. To do that, instead of creating flat files where we have the graphics and each video shot all put together into a file and then transferred over the internet, we need to create data. So that means the information about the video instead of just flattening the video into one piece. This information can be assembled in a web browser. That means any device that's capable of using the internet and using the World Wide Web as we know it could assemble this video together. That would mean that to create this video it wouldn't cost as much as hiring a TV truck. If you look at something like soccer, you have this scoreboard in the upper left corner. That could actually be layered on top of the video instead. That would mean that someone who's doing a child's soccer game could create ESPN quality graphics just in the browser without having to have all that equipment. If you look at something like March Madness, which has been taking steps towards having a more interactive element, they have things like you're able to view stats or browse games. And having that data behind the video means that this presentation can be taken to multiple devices. So maybe it's best on a mobile phone to not have any additional stats, but maybe when you're watching on a tablet you want to have an overload of stats so you can click on people and get information. And when you're watching on TV, you want a sit-back experience where you can just use a remote control. So how do we get to this future where video just works on all these different devices and data drives it? Well, there's a lot of structural things that need to change. We need to develop things like JavaScript frameworks and all these sorts of technological things to do it. But most importantly, we need to experiment. So if you're interested in experimenting, if you're interested in trying new things, you should talk to me, because I want to make it so anyone can create video that looks as great as anything else. Thanks.